Everybody, it's Russ with How to Play Like the Pros. Today we're talking about the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths, if you have a C scale, the fifth of C is G. If you're in a G scale, the fifth of G is D, and the fifth of D is A, and it moves like this in fifths. If you go this way in the circle, they move in fourths. So if you're in C, the fourth is F. So you got C, D, E, F. So with that said, and I'm talking to the ones out there that are familiar with music, this is not for basic beginners. You have to be a little more advanced to understand this. So if you have a one and you're moving in fourths this way, and you're moving in fifths this way, then every time you go this way, you're going, so if this is your root chord, you're moving to a fourth. So that would be C and F. If you're on this chord here, the root chord is C, and you're moving in fifths, you move this way, so that would be a G. So you could have a musical movement like 1, 4, 5. So here's your 1. You move to your 4 chord, and there's your F. So here's your C, your F, and then if you move from your 1 this way, that's your 5 chord. So there's your G. So you can play lots of common songs with a 1, 4, 5. And you can move this anywhere. You can do the same thing here. So you start on the A, say you're in the key A, and A is your 1. Because fourths move this way, you're going to have a D. So there's your 4, and there's your D. If you're on A and you move the 5th, that's going to be your 5 chord. There's your 5th. So now you got A, D, and E as a movement of 1, 4, 5. Now these chords inside the circle are minor chords. The chords on the outside of the circle are major chords. So they're known as relative minors. So they're like a twin to the major. So A minor is the relative minor of C major. E minor is the relative minor of G. And one good way to remember that is, if we look at our C, F, and G over here, G is the fifth of C, so that tells us that A is the sixth. So the relative minor of any major key is the sixth. So if you're in G, you got G, A, B, C, D, E. That's the sixth. So that's with any of them like that. So if you want to play a group of chords and you want to know what their major chords and their minor chords in that key, you can use the circle to block that out like this. Now you can play these chords in any grouping because they harmonize together. So we have C as our 1, so that means D minor would be our 2, so we represent that with a lowercase Roman numeral and capital for our major. So that means major and that means minor. So that's 1, 2. That's the 2. So that's the relative. That's our second minor. Our third minor is over here, which is the E. So we represent that with a lowercase Roman numeral. So far we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our 6 is a minor as well, and we represent that with a lowercase. So our 7 is a B, but it's not a B minor, it's a B diminished. And we'll get into that later, what diminished chords are. But that is our 7, and it's represented with a lowercase with a little degree, like a degree you see in a temperature. So these are all the chords that you can harmonize in this key. And you can move that whole thing over to here. So I can go right to here and here for A. Same thing for A. A's are major 1, These are major 4 and these are major 5. So that means that B is our minor 2. C is our minor 3. And F sharp is our minor 6. And of course, G sharp, diminish, is our 7. So that would be minor 7. So that would be a G sharp. And we write the little sharp sign with a little circle. And that's our 7. So our group, so you can play a group of 3 major chords together using these, or you can play these 3 together, minor, or you can interchange them. We'll get more into that later, but today I just wanted to show that the circle of fifths move this way for fifths, fourths this way, and how you can get a 1, 4, 5 chord progression by going 1, 4, 5. Same thing here. The 1, 4, 5. And these are the relative minors. So that's all for today. Get your axes out and start practicing. Thanks for watching.